turning back.
All right, welcome back.
Here we are, a month later.
A month later. It's on me. It really is on me. Oh, as my body is like stiff to move around, man.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely are like we're on this like weird catechism of not timing not working. And my schedule like being a little random as well. But yeah, it seems like
summertime.
We're just
summertime. I mean, we can make all the excuses we want in the world, right?
Yeah.
It came down to we just didn't prioritize it, and
it's not getting to one of those things where you're like pushing it forward on the thing, right?
There's other priorities, but man, I still want this to be like so much has happened. So I think
it's like hard now because there's so much in a month that goes on, right? Whenever you look at the size of that spider,
heck yeah. We're farming those.
Whoa, that's a big spider.
It's like carrying something too.
Dang.
We'll try to get that.
The thing is like probably like that big. If you're looking at YouTube, it's probably like a $quarter size spider walking across the road.
We'll grab it.
That's pretty crazy. Are you scared of spiders?
They don't bother me around here. I don't love internet. I don't prefer to. I'm like a live and let live, right? Like I'll vacuum them out of my areas, but I'm not the type that's gonna have a tarantula pet.
I've put a glove on once and got bit by a spider.
Oh, really?
I was not stoked on it. It hurt.
Oh, it was in the glove?
Yeah, it was in the glove. Put my hand in there, and
it's kind of a nightmare.
Oh my! And
that is a nightmare.
Hurt. It like hurt really bad. I was like, "What in the world? This thing?" And then remember that show Arachnophobia?
Yeah, the kids.
Dude, that thing was scared me
the crap out of me as a kid.
I was one time in Cedar City. We lived in Cedar City one time, and they were like, "You got to go check out this road. They hit a tarantula den." And we were like, "What does that mean?" So we drive down to this road by the airport, and when we are heading there, there's a lot of cars that are looking, kind of parked, and people standing outside. And then we look, and we're like, "Man, it looks like the road is moving, like kind of like moving, like an ocean." And we're like, "Oh, it's like that effect of like the oil above it, right?" But it's like. It's moving. It's like and it was like probably they said upwards of like 2 million tarantulas were crossing the road and like stuck in everything because they'd hit a den. And I was like, I didn't realize we had that many tarantulas. Now this is what 20. How old's Tristan? 21 years ago.
Yeah.
And Cedar City now is like blown up. That place where we drove by the other day, and it's like, what in the world?
Yeah.
And it was. I am not a fan of spiders, not even a little bit.
I would imagine after being bit.
Yeah,
we had a long time. So the way we grew up, my aunt and uncle they still own this house. They're one of those in Colorado, but they owned the house a few doors down, and they would rent it out, and the renter got bit by a brown recluse.
Ooh.
Killed him.
Brown recluses are bad.
They're bad news. He was moving a pile of wood and it bit him, and
those things
took
mean
3
no
days,
joke.
but it killed him.
Yeah, they're no joke.
Yeah,
I'm always terrified of. Like I said, when that thing bit me, I was like, that's the first thing I thought. Is I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Well, where we're at, there's no, maybe a black widow, but you would know.
Yeah,
you would." It was a brown spider, but I think it was like a wolf spider or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I don't even know what it was, honestly. If it was a wolf spider. But yeah, it was I definitely can still feel the pain of that bite.
That's funny how our brain records pain.
Yeah.
Because that's it feels like the crux.
Yeah.
The crucible of what I've been dealing with for the last month.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like you said, your body is definitely feeling the ramifications of what you've been going through, right?
Yeah.
You're on week 3, or do you go back next week?
I start back to IV treatment on Monday. So a week from tomorrow or yesterday.
What was there anything different about this series of 4 weeks? No. You were on the one pill.
Yeah, so that's what I think I figured out the most. was that, okay, so being off treatment doesn't really mean I'm off treatment.
Sure.
It means I'm off the IV. It means I'm off the arsenic. There is still another drug, which I've just kind of neglected, right? I take a handful of pills every day.
Sure.
But there's another scheduled drug. It's called Atra. It's Retin-A. So if any of you who are into getting your face like facials or whatever, they use Retin-A to like for youth. Okay. In my age group, like in high school, it was starting to become popular to take Accutane. Okay. Accutane is another retinoic acid that is used to treat acne, but they found that there is a pathway in which it crosses the blood-brain barrier. And I'm on that drug on a different schedule, but it's a chemo drug. So it's like 10 times the dose of Accutane. And I've noticed that and this isn't making an excuse by any means. No, I've done and said some hurtful things inadvertent. I'm just having to say like, it was part chemical and part, just emotional buildup, emotional residue, bubbling off. And knowing, and that's what I noticed. I think if it weren't for that blow up, like I wouldn't have noticed, hey, I've been on this drug for 2 weeks. I noticed when I started taking it, that it really hurt my gut, that I can actually feel it in, like I start to get a tremor. I start getting necrotic in the palms of my hands, and they measure that stuff, right? They ask me how far, if it's growing, that kind of stuff.
What does that mean, necrotic?
Like numbness.
Oh, numbness.
Like if you're getting numbness.
Okay.
They don't want you to, because then you'd start losing feeling.
Oh, wow.
They want to know if I'm losing any feeling and that kind of stuff. Whoa. So, not that I'm not, like I said, I'm standing on the awareness of it, that like, okay, I probably do have the emotional capacity to contain myself in this situation, but I'm giving myself a little bit of grace because I know that I have this medication that's basically dissolving. It's very negatively impacting my mood. Yeah. Very, very, you feel dark. You feel depressed. Yeah. Your mood is swinging. Like, so you can have moments where you're like, yeah, I'm chippy. And then moments where you just completely crash out. But now I've been off of it. It's on a different schedule. It's on 2 weeks, off 2 weeks. Okay. So having this break has kind of helped me to explore that particular portion of my treatment.
How long after your next round will be round 3?
We start round 3, and I start both the arsenic and the Atra on the same day.
What would happen if you didn't take the Atra?
I don't know. Is
it like this is a requirement? This is something that you need to do, Tyler. Don't ask questions. Just do it.
I think that's the question that I need to ask, right? Like I feel like it's 50% of the treatment, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
So I feel like it is one of those things, like I just got to buckle down. I know how many more weeks I'm going to have of it. I need to be more aware of how I'm interacting with people. I'm also just exhausted, like of feeling like a sick person and being treated like a sick person.
Oh, sure.
I do feel sick, but I'm for the most part, like today, I'm feeling pretty good.
Right.
I'm feeling pretty good. Yes. And some of that is aided, but through certain medications, but like I'm feeling able enough to go down to the office. Right.
Was it busy down there?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
There was social interaction.
There was social. I mean, that's it. Like I'm isolating, right? Like yeah. Yeah. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like our conversations have been pretty sporadic and pretty like in between things. Cause like sometimes like for me personally, like I'm like, like giving you space, but also like giving you the ability to like just learn how to handle these things
right
without feeling like you have to talk about them on every occasion.
See,
right?
And I think that's so important, Danny. I don't think I realized that. And I probably didn't reach out and say how much I appreciated it. Like my friendship with Danny is like one where I feel like, I hope he knows that I feel like we can pick up wherever we left off. Sure. And it's like, we just picked up. We know that we're growing and we're experiencing. I had a great father for the most part. Like we had our differences. We are where we are. I'm going to labeled it as great just for gratitude, but I didn't really necessarily have a father who taught that emotionally.
Sure.
And I don't think he had a father that really taught that emotionally. And I'm seeing changes in my father now, which are really beautiful, but that ability to learn to self-soothe, like just, I mean, yeah, there's only so much you can kind of do in a broken home.
And even like with, male friendships.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like I can be an ear.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I can be like a soundboard.
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, like to figure things out is solely based on you.
Yeah.
You know, solely based on me.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time is like, that's the biggest thing for like men is self-rescuing and self-soothing, right? Women truly don't understand that.
Yeah.
They don't, because men are always there to help. Men are always there to fix, to always like be there as your soundboard for women, right?
Right.
But for guys, it's not like you're willing to be like, oh yeah, every day, this is what's bothering me every day.
Yeah.
So what happens is you have to be internally like, this is what's going good, this is what's going bad. Something that I've been thinking a lot about and like talking a lot about with Preston is being in a learning state all the time of your life, being in a learning state, right? For jiu-jitsu, we are always learning. I'm never a teacher. I'm never an instructor. I'll pass on certain knowledges, certain things that I've learned. Yeah. But I'm learning as you're going through it, right? I think that men sometimes turn that button off of learning. Yeah. Right. I am personally taking a bunch of like what I call classes with Preston, where he's teaching me like some computer stuff that I truly have no idea about. Yeah. None. I've never been a computer person. I've never been a person that I think like I know how to get to YouTube. I know how to get to certain websites, you know, and I've never known how to utilize data or computer to a skill set that will benefit. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so, but because of my learning state I'm willing to accept instruction. I'm willing to accept critique. I'm willing to accept that I don't know. Yeah. Right. I'm excited about it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so we were talking about how just being in a learning state can give you so much power. It's when you go, no, I know that. No, I understand that. And you take that. I'm not willing to accept your instruction. I'm just going to tell you, no, I know that. Yeah. Right. You take that. Your brain is turned off from learning. And then to rebuild that learning state as an adult male, so hard. Oh yeah. Right? Kids, they're in a learning state all the time. They don't have to turn that off. Right. Right. They're just always learning. So that's why they learn so fast. Yeah. They have that skill plus their skill of learning. Yeah. They're in it. Yeah. Right. So they can accept instruction very easy. Yeah. Yeah. But you can see when your kids have stopped accepting instruction, because then you're like, they kind of like give you that flippant, brush you off type thing, you know, and it's important for men to figure out ways to stay in a learning state. It is really hard, especially in a day and age where like, I think we just kind of came out of like the post-educational, like credentialing matters, right? Where the internet has kind of democratized education, and now we're seeing experts, good or bad, that are now coaches and or expertise on subject matter experts. Whether or not they have the credentialing, we're now accepting that, right? Sure. And so the ability to stay learning is important. Well, and how do you get yourself, like, let's say in your personal case, right? Right. Your personal case, you're in this like fight of your life. Mm-hmm. But are you able to learn in a fight? Like in a fight, I don't know, man, like you're in self-protection mode at that moment, right? It's like the only thing I'm thinking about is preservation. Right. Right. But learning how to accept people for who they are. Yeah. That's a big one. Yeah. Because sometimes we place how we feel or how we do things or how I handle a situation.
Yeah.
I place that on you, and I expect the same response that I give.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't give that response, then I'm like, fuck you then.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just being like, well, no, you're human.
Yeah.
Take whatever response. I'm not responsible for how you respond.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for how I respond.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I think men struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're dead on.
And with women, you know, like, man, women relationships, like relationships with women, like sometimes, man, like sometimes we just don't get it right.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I just piss Misty off and I have no idea what I did.
Yeah.
She's just pissed off at me and I'm like, don't forget, lady, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
You know, but there's just, but there's so many times when I expect her to respond the way that I respond or the way that I deal with things. And she doesn't, and then I'm like mad at her that she didn't respond the way that I wanted her to.
Right?
And times that by your kids.
Yeah, yeah. And you look at like, are you even if you're projecting your expectation, are you guys even really having the same argument?
Yeah.
I mean, are you? Who knows?
Who knows?
You could be speaking two different languages at that point, and it doesn't matter. And I think we see that as a reflection in our relationships because of how close we are, we can see it better. Like those intimate relationships, that relationship you have with Misty, everything is probably magnified. Your children reflect in a certain way. Your parents reflect in a certain way. And you start seeing those things like all the time when I say, oh, I never wanted to be like my dad. Now you're seeing like it just kind of happens.
It can happen. Yeah.
And you realize, oh, there's some conditioning that happens.
Yeah, genetic
condition.
Genetic
yeah.
conditioning.
I think we give our higher functioning brains too much credit sometimes.
For sure.
I think we give ourselves too much credit for being thinking creatures, and we forget a lot about the nature of what our brain really cares about, which is just safety.
Sure.
Like when you think about it, it's just designed to keep us safe.
For sure. Yeah, yeah, and to remember a situation that you weren't safe in, and then to protect you from that situation however you want to.
Right.
Which I think sometimes is why you protect your kids, because you've seen the situation and you're like, I know what's going to happen. So you try to tell them and you try to create what happens, but their brain, or they didn't experience it the way that you experienced it. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm going to touch the fire.
Right.
I'm going to touch the hot stove.
Right. The competence breeds confidence type scenario. They sometimes have to go through that humbling.
Sure.
I think teaching via negativa is really hard. Like there's some life lessons where you can teach that don't do drugs, right? We can all see the druggie and we can all point at that and say, and yet it still hooks people from time to time.
For sure.
You know, we're just wired to just the basic functions.
Well, and sometimes you see the teacher as this like higher power, right?
Yeah.
And if the teacher is a good learner, right? If they're a good learner, good listener, good everything, they'll make adjustments as you're learning. Because they're not taking ownership on the item that they're teaching.
That's huge. What you just said is huge. If the teacher is a good learner, you are going to experience it better.
For sure.
That makes a lot of sense.
In anything.
Yeah.
Right? If we take it back to our jiu-jitsu, man, like Professor always says, this is not Mike Diaz jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's not my jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's what I learned from Pedro, who learned from Master Elio. Yeah. It's been brought down. I'm teaching what I've learned, right?
Yeah.
And what he says is that then me, Danny, when I'm teaching, I don't have to take ownership of the jiu-jitsu and I don't have to put the ownership on Mike. I can just say, this is the way that I learned it, who was taught to me this way, right? And when you look at it in those instances, going back to Preston teaching me these things, like he had zero qualm about dumbing it down for me
Yeah.
to where I understood. He didn't even teach. Like I was telling him, I was doing pivot tables.
Oh yeah.
Right. On. So what I'm doing is I've never kept track of my finances. Never. I've always spent money. Sometimes I overspend. Sometimes I underspend. Sometimes I'm happy. Sometimes I'm like, shit, I need to like really buckle down for a week or two.
Yeah.
Oh, back to being happy.
Yeah.
My finances have never I've never been up and down with my finances. I've always been even. Don't care what happens to them.
Yeah.
I have a house over my head. I have cars that I drive. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But getting closer to retirement, I was like, man, I really need to learn this. And I didn't know where to start.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so somebody told me to put into Chat GPT just my thoughts of where I wanted what I wanted out of my finances. And I spent like 5 days with this Chat GPT commands of, well, this is what I'm looking for. And I had this like spreadsheet in front of me of finances.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at.
Yeah.
It's numbers.
Oh yeah.
I can see what I'm spending in groceries, but I don't know how to break it down and all this shit. So then I was kind of talking to Preston about this. He goes, if you ever want to just like sit down and chat, I'll show you some of this stuff what I do.
Yeah.
Talk about subject matter expertise number one.
Yeah.
Dude's been doing data since early 90s
Yeah.
to now.
Yeah.
He was telling me that he used to write it on paper, write all this stuff that we're doing on paper.
Yeah.
Then he learned how to code.
Yeah.
Could recode shit. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is the guy that I need to talk to. He's so much more smarter than me.
Yeah.
But he doesn't care, what I'm doing it for. He just wants to share some information. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm looking at these pivot tables. I don't understand how to do pivot tables. And so I'm explaining to him in my language that I think I'm speaking right. And he goes, he's looking at me and he's smiling. He goes, yeah, you're putting too much thought into this. Let me show you. And so he puts, we have my computer and he does a couple things and I'm like, he does this quick code and he's like, yeah, if you just do this. And I'm like, over my head. So he walks me through it 3 times. Then he's like, just do it on your own on a test sheet of paper. So you can just undo the test sheet of paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just start over.
Yeah.
Put it on the test sheet of paper, start over. If it doesn't be what you want to do, cool. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. The whole time he is so like smiling, laughing, happy as fuck. Just cool as shit that he is getting to talk his nerd language to me, this Neanderthal. Right. And what he said was, well, you're so excited to learn and I'm so excited to teach you.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes it fun.
It makes it fun.
It makes it fun.
But imagine like if he was like, look, dumbass, and choose my ass or something. Like I've showed you this 10 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'd get turned off.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. There's no empathy there.
None.
Yeah.
But I thought about that with how I talk with Misty, with how I talk with the kids, how I talk with my boys, like the same concept of like, if I'm a good teacher and they're willing to learn, it doesn't matter if you make mistakes.
Yeah.
Just, you get to erase the test sheet and start over if you want to.
Yeah.
Right. I think about that in life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. Like we've never been given playbooks on how to be who we are today.
Well, I'll back you up. I said we may subconsciously we've been given some playbooks.
Okay. Yeah, the ones.
But you're right. We've never been given. To your point, you're right. We've never been given a playbook. So.
Or you can't go find like how should Tyler deal with his divorce.
Yes,
you can't go search that.
No,
you could put that in ChatGPT, but ChatGPT tells you in the nicest ways of what you should do. ChatGPT kind of is a little sensitive.
Yeah,
right.
It's had some empathy training.
But you're not given a book. So who do you look to figure these things out? Because you're learning.
Yeah.
And if you get angry, right, you've stopped learning.
Yes.
And if you get frustrated, no more learning.
Yeah.
Just anger.
Yeah.
Right. Guess what? The person that you're fighting with, or the person that has caused this grief, has also now stopped listening.
Yep.
Stopped learning.
Yeah.
Stopped teaching.
They're done.
They're done.
They're done.
So how do you do it? How in those moments of struggle, where do you see? Because right now, for all intents and purposes, you're in it.
Yeah. I think for me, my for a long time, my motto has been seek to understand. Ask more questions. Ask more questions. I'm terrible at it, even to this day. Ask more questions. Seek to understand. And every time that like I go into specifically when I know that there is a chance that it could become combative.
Sure.
If I know that it's going to maybe not, if I start by asking questions, if I start by just asking rudimentary dumb questions, the outcome has always been better for me than when I kind of come out guns a-blazing.
Sure.
Making sure my point is understood, needing to be understood.
Yeah. Well, but that's a defense mechanism.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. It's that anger. It's that frustration. It's that frustration.
And because I'm not seeing you
right
for you.
Yeah.
Or I'm not seeing you how you see yourself.
Right.
So you're like, no, I'm fucking nice. What the hell are you talking about? I'm the nicest fucking person around. You're like, okay, look at you.
Yeah.
Are you? Are you the nicest person?
Right.
Really? Honestly?
Well, right. And if you're so busy saying that, like, you have to be like, yeah.
Which then becomes you going, well, you're just a narcissist because you're making me act this way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
But we're not learning and we're not teaching. We're not growing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then again, like, were you given a playbook on how to deal with cancer?
No.
And truthfully, your friends were not given a playbook on how to deal with Tyler with cancer.
Yeah. Yes.
You know?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And
Jesse getting hit by the bike.
Oh.
You know?
Yes.
Man, what a crazy man. I'm telling you, when I seen him, I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
You know, when we sat there, we bullshitted, and then when we hugged at the end, I was like overwhelmed with emotions because I knew I was going to cry. I knew I held it together as long as I could.
Yeah.
As soon as he left, I was like, I am so glad you're alive.
Yeah.
But I think the same thing with you.
Yeah.
Like, I am so glad that my friends are alive because the other, I mean, I'll deal with any bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're mad. I don't care. I don't care if you tune somebody up. Like, if you don't like them, I don't like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want you to do that kind of stuff. But you know,
I think
more importantly, I'm glad you're alive.
Yeah. I think my biggest fear is that obviously I was in my head a lot. And not wanting to spread my toxicity around, right? Like knowing that there was nothing I could do to pull myself out of this spot. And it's completely up to me to self-rescue.
Sure.
I've always had somebody to come bail my ass out. I need to spend more time, just sucking it up.
Sure.
That's what when you grow up with a single mom, moms don't know not to rescue you.
Agreed.
They don't know when not to rescue.
Agreed. I've had to tell my mom a bunch of times, like, I don't need you to say a single thing.
Yeah.
I need you just to listen.
Yeah.
Dads.
Yep.
Like, I mean, for me, like sometimes my boys are like telling me what they're doing, telling me what they're doing. And I'll say, okay, do you want my advice or just listen?
Yeah.
I just want you to listen.
Yeah.
Cool. But
Right.
I've had to tell my mom, like, sternly, I don't need you to say a single thing.
Yeah.
Just listen.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. I don't need you to help me. Just
Yeah.
listen, because you're right. I don't think that, again, women are not built. They don't know how to. Like, my wife is very good. She's very understanding. She's very great. But when it comes to like solving major problems, we have to do that together, because I don't know if they're built to solve. And I'm not saying this mean. I'm not saying this rude.
Right.
Don't take it offensively. I probably will offend a couple of people. Sometimes my thoughts should probably stay in my head, but I just don't think they are.
I think that's the important about raw thought, right? Like you need the thought to be challenged so it become polished a little bit.
Agreed.
Right? So I think you got to just put it out there.
Yeah.
You may regret it later, right? Like it's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing too. Like we know we're dead when our brains harden.
Yeah.
Right. When we talk about learning, they learn easier because their brains are soft and malleable.
Yeah.
As we get older, right? We know that from science, right?
Sure.
Right. So if we get so stuck on a version of somebody, that version of somebody is always how we see them.
Sure.
Are they really capable of learning?
Yeah.
Am I capable of learning at that point?
Or growing
Or
into
growing?
a different
Well, that's
person.
the thing. That's
Yeah.
what it requires, right?
It does,
It's the same.
It goes back to what you said. Ask a million questions.
Yeah.
Ask a million questions.
Yeah.
Ask so many questions that the person teaching you has to now think on how to, one, answer the question, two, make it so that you both are understanding what each other is talking about.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
again, I go back to Preston, like he showed me some simple ways to do some things. And now I have a spreadsheet that I'm working on to keep track of my jiu-jitsu. I have a
cool.
spreadsheet to keep track of my financials. I have a spreadsheet to keep track of my breathing. I have a spreadsheet to keep track of my stretching. And I was like, well, I'm just learning.
Yeah.
Right. And if I stay in this constant state of learning or constant state of like asking a ton of questions, whenever I'm called upon to be an instructor, I will be willing to accept questions, willing to adjust my thinking. Because that's the other thing with like Professor is he's always willing to accept instruction, and he's willing to accept somebody teaching him a better way to do things, right? Because that's what else happens is you could be like, oh, light bulb on.
Yeah.
This might be a better way to do this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And men in our generation, right? You know, we don't understand social media, but sometimes when like guys like you and I's age do social media, they come off as brash and like bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you're like, come on, man. Like
late to the party, trying to just make money.
Yeah. They're not genuine.
Yeah.
Which is why I struggle with social media.
Oh.
I feel like I come off as not genuine.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like what I come off as contrived and bullshit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's I don't think that's the case with people, but I do think that it's not who I want to be.
Yeah.
Younger guys, you know.
Yeah.
Younger guys, they understand social media a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
But do they have the life experiences to motivate me?
Right.
To teach me a new way of doing something.
Yeah.
Do they have the life experiences?
Yeah.
You know, I know for a fact that like, you know, when I talk to Tristan and Braxton, they like, sometimes they motivate me to do things slightly different.
Yeah.
You know, but they're also in a learning state.
Yeah.
Always.
That's not to say that they can't teach you something, right? Like,
sure.
So what does it take to be a good learner?
I think,
because I'll be honest, like academically, the way school was taught to me, I was a terrible learner.
Same.
But there are things where I can become obsessive and I just soak it up and I can learn, like I really enjoy the subject matter or whatever, and I can learn it.
Yeah. I think like when you don't actually like the subject matter, but you can still convince the teacher that you are so interested in this thing. Yeah. You are a great learner.
Yeah.
Right. And accepting what the person is saying or teaching.
Right.
Because teaching could potentially be very rough. Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes, let's say, you are going through a bad breakup. Right.
Yeah.
And you are like, I want to rip everything apart and do like crazy shit. Right. Yeah. But how could you both walk away amicably knowing that the relationship just ended? Yeah. Right. Well, you need to be in a very, very, very vulnerable state. Yeah. Your ego had better be in check. Yeah. Right. And your emotions are going to be up and down anyways. Right. So you better have some sort of gauge on when your emotions are too high and too low. Yeah. Right. And I think that in itself means that you are a pretty good learner. Yeah. It's when you take the stand of, nope, I'm not accepting any of this shit. Yeah. You put your wall up, you put your stand up, and you stand on your laurels and you go, fuck this. I'm fighting to the death now. Right. Right. You stopped learning at that point. Right. There's no more learning, and it's all about self-preservation and fight. Right. And we all have that too. Yeah. Fight or flight.
So when does it need to switch? Right. Like you're teaching the young kids jiu-jitsu. At what point do you have to kind of stand on business?
When you're when your health and you potentially could be hurt. That doesn't mean that you haven't provoked this thing. So, Mika that came and taught at the camp, he taught this cool thing, and I've thought about it a lot. And what he said was, let's say I have and Master Sauer and oh my gosh, my brain just took a fart, but it was a social media clip that also came about the same time as a camp where Master Sauer was working with one of the older Gracies, and the guy had a stick, and every time that he would kind of lift the stick up, Master Sauer would kind of grab him, and he was like, I'm not even doing anything yet. You're escalating this.
Yeah.
Right? You're escalating it. Now, if I pull the stick up and I go to hit you, that's different. But what if I'm asking you with questions and I'm like, hey, what is over there? But I have a stick in my hand. Have I now provoked that I'm going to hit you? No.
Yeah.
And Miko was talking about the same thing. And he said that sometimes if you're talking loud, and I talk louder with my hands, and I become aggressive, but I have now escalated this. Instead of de-escalating it, I've escalated it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you are if there is potential for you getting hurt, you need to change. You need to change things.
Yeah.
Right? So you may at that moment go from learning or in this state of like, okay, I'm keeping my ego in check, I'm keeping myself in check, to okay, I'm protecting myself now. Protect myself. That's my number one job.
Right.
Protect myself.
Right.
But if you've caused this issue, can you say, no, I'm just protecting myself if you've caused the confrontation?
Yeah, no, I don't if you've instigated.
If you've instigated it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that like flows into like, what is a righteous war, right? If I nuke somebody preemptively, right, but I know that they were going to use their nukes against me, am I justified in doing so?
Right.
No, I don't think you ever are, right? I think I don't know, what does the warrior ethos say? Like, I would say no, you're as culpable as the person you're blowing up, and it's okay to have those moments of weakness, or need to even stand on business, right? And say, hey, you're actually addressing a boundary, and this is how I'm going to respond with that boundary, right? A boundary is not me saying, hey, that's a boundary. A boundary is like a specific action based on whatever, right? Like,
I agree. The boundary doesn't have to be said out loud,
right? So even if I instigate and I get to a point where I say I've hit a boundary and I'm now out, I'm bouncing from the conversation, right? Like I think that's okay, right? It's okay to be in those moments of crisis and say, oh wait, even I can still be wrong and I can walk away.
Sure.
I'm not saying you're justified in your behavior.
Right. And I'll challenge you in the fact that, like, if you know that the things are going to go that way, but then you continue on and then go, whoa. No. This is my boundary, but you knew that it was going to go that way. You knew that there was going to be damage one way or the other. Right. But then you go, whoa. I'm protecting myself. Is that not, to me, that is still escalation. And this is why I think, like, men, particularly men, right? We sometimes escalate things knowing that there's going to be an escalation.
Oh, yeah.
And willing to be like, well, I'm kind of into this one today.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into this one today.
Yeah.
Right. And does that take away from the fact that you're not, does that say you're bad? No, it doesn't say that you're bad. It means that, again, what we're built for. We're built for conflict.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And what we've done with our modern society is we've legislated, we've put rules around how do we handle conflict? What's allowed, right? There's some framework that has been put in place, right? And now there's behavior when you interact with each other with this kind of common group of laws and morals or expectations, right? When you interact, you're both agreeing to play within this.
Agreed.
Within this rule, this
within these rule sets,
right? And so I think it's about the awareness of what are you creating? I don't necessarily think conflict is bad. I don't think calling somebody out for their shitty behavior is bad. Right. And so I don't know. I guess I'm interested. Where do you think, where are you going with this? Like what, if I continue to egg it on, like where are we now?
Are we both playing by the same, you said it already.
Yeah.
Are we both playing by the same rules? Are we both? So whenever we go into jiu-jitsu, right? And we smack hands and bump fists, we both understand the rules.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
If you and I we have same moral beliefs, we understand each other's boundaries.
Yes.
And we have a very heated argument.
Yeah.
And we both understand that punches can never be thrown.
Right.
We can talk, we can be loud, we can say swear words to each other.
Yes.
But there's a boundary of, we both know that once we punch, those boundaries, those rules change, and now our relationship changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that as long as you're playing in the same rules, playing, like you said, playing within the same rules, as long as you both know they understand the same rules, it's when the rules keep changing to benefit me.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's not Danny or nothing, the person, whoever.
Yes. Yeah. 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 I know what you mean.
Especially with women.
Yes. Right.
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 Because like we can play in the same rules. Misty and I can play in the same rules, but if my voice raises, guess what?
That's
the rules. Those are not the rules that she abides by. Right. So she could be like, well, okay, well, she say a swear word. Guess what? Those may be rules that I don't. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't say swear words to now we're adding rules.
Yeah.
We're adding these rules as we're going on. So what happens? We've both stopped learning. We've both stopped listening.
Yeah.
We've both stopped engaging.
Yeah.
We're only escalating.
Yes.
So just like you, to your point of when there are rules or boundaries,
yes,
which is a rule, right? And we both agree to those things.
Yeah.
Then we can be like, okay, we can fight fair.
We can fight fair. Yes.
As a marriage, or a friendship like we have, we can always adjust the rules.
Yes. Good conflict will have that set of rules that'll be agreed on, right?
And
like
if we have a great relationship, we could be like, I get where you're coming from, but
yes. Yes.
And it won't be ego that's stopping that.
Right.
Even though in the moment you may feel, well, that's just your ego talking.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing when we slap hands, bump fists. You escalate it a little bit. You turn your energy up. I turn my energy up, and you go, whoa, what the fuck? And I'm like, well, I'm just matching your energy. And you're like, I was matching your, and now we're back and forth of who energy is worse.
Yeah.
Well, energy transfers two ways.
Right.
Right. With our bodies in conflict and also with our voices.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when we go back to that instructor learning, teaching and instructor thing, if we're in this learning, if we're always in a learning state, we can stop for a minute, right? Take a step back and say, okay, were we both playing in the same rules? Who escalated it?
Yes.
Maybe it was me.
Yeah.
Maybe it was me that escalated it, and I didn't realize I was escalating.
Right.
Right. Maybe I didn't realize that I had gone from learning and my ego got the best of me, and now my emotions got the best of me. And so I stopped learning and I took a different stand. Right. And again, in my opinion, that's the hardest thing as a man.
Yeah.
Because you're not given a rule book. You're given this form that people see as sometimes overly aggressive male.
Yeah. Yes.
This bullshit alpha male bullshit. I'm sorry, it's bullshit to me.
Yeah.
The alpha male. Like, some guy got a hold of that. It bounced all over the internet. And now some random dude thinks that screaming at women
Yeah.
and talking shit to other dudes is me just being an alpha male. No, you're being a douchebag.
Yeah. You like what is it? It's Tate?
Yeah.
What's his
You're
name?
just being a jerk.
Yeah.
You found a platform for people to not, and you're not getting punched in the face regularly.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Regularly enough. Yeah.
Regularly. And maybe you have things. I mean, I don't know. That's it dawns on me that like in all reality, when you're not given a playbook or, you know, this rules to rules to set up, boundaries like we talked about.
Yeah.
And you're making your own. If you go, no, these are hard and fast. This is hard and fast. And then somebody goes, well, what about this? Like Preston did. Well, what about this? This is a hard and fast rule, but what about this?
Yeah.
And they challenge you and you're like,
oh shit.
well, what about that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's why for me, boundaries are never meant to be walls of disconnection. They're always meant to promote healthy connection.
Sure.
And if I've withdrawn, it's because the chances are you have crossed those boundaries enough where I'm no longer safe with you.
Sure.
I'm no longer safe with you, and I will never feel safe with you.
Sure.
And so my guard will always be up. I'll always be a little bit prickly. It'll always be one of those, you know, USA versus Russia kind of like standoffs, right? Like power of two. Like I probably won't.
Yeah.
You know,
when you take a hard and fast stand like that, are there people who always get passes past that? Like, let's say somebody who you are like really close with, parent, child, spouse, and they push those boundaries. Do you go, okay, that is a boundary, but because of who you are and where you lie in my life, I'm going to give you a pass, and I'm not going to hold you to the same standard as if it was insert another person who I don't have the same relationship
right.
with.
I would say, but personally, I think I probably do. Principally, I would say you should be principled. You should treat people. It should be principles before people. So if principally that person is given a pass, then I am not being principled. So therefore I am at fault. Why would I make the rules different for different people? That's me being not principled. And I really, my goal in life is to be principled.
Sure.
I believe when I am principled, principles will be reflected back to me.
Sure.
Right there. They coexist. They cross the boundary.
And I believe myself, like you, and I know we're going to do, like, we can't get too far into this, but you gave me a book called, No More Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah.
And there were so many things in there where I was like,
yeah,
that's how I am.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, man, I give passes.
Yes.
And I have given so many passes to probably people that I shouldn't give passes to, because I'm just learning how to set up boundaries of myself and just learning how, like, that it isn't a reflection of me being a douchebag.
Right.
By just being like, I'm not okay with that. And I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you no.
Yeah.
Because I just don't feel comfortable with putting myself in that position.
Right.
And I listened to that book and I'm like, so many of the chapters resonate where I'm like, oh my God, this is it took me a little bit longer to read it, because I was trying not to, like, sometimes when I read books like that, man, I like overstimulates myself, and then I start to, like, all of a sudden, like, Misty's like, what the fuck is going on? You got all this craziness going on in your head, but it's because I'm overstimulated by it.
You're overthinking it. You're overplaying it. You're overanalyzing it.
And I'd like to do a really deep dive on that book.
Yeah.
Because there was some stuff in there that I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And it fucked with me again.
Yeah.
You know, like, where I could see that I'd let a lot of people walk all over me.
Yeah.
In times that I shouldn't have, because I just gave them passes so much, you know. And I didn't want to be, you know, I already come off as a gruff guy sometimes, you know, and I don't want to be, you know, disingenuous. But there's times when I let people walk on me because I was like, I'd rather just, it's fine. Like, it's fine.
Dude, that book, I think, was, and we won't have time to get into it, but single-handedly one of the most eye-opening for me towards my explosive anger, which matched my father's anger.
Sure.
Right? I saw my father's anger in myself. And then I explored, it's because I've given all these passes.
Yeah.
I've now built up all this resentment, explode.
Yeah.
It's a good book, and it's heavy. You do need somebody to kind of go through with it, you know.
It was, it's still like, there's things that I'm like, I'll be sitting around, I'll be thinking, I'll be like, wow, that's a weird way to, and again, it's because I wasn't taught certain things by a father or by my father.
Right,
you know?
right.
I did have a dream a couple of days ago about my dad. My dad and my uncle, who both look similar, and I kind of look similar to them. This is the only thing I remember about my dream is like we're sitting around and they're very old, my dad and my uncle. And my dad looks at me and he says, in our next life, we are going to be so much better friends. And I was like, whoa, you know, woke up and I was so emotional that day thinking about it all day long about like what that meant, you know, like my dad saying that to me in my dream, you know, and, it definitely like, again, I think it's because like my brain is like expanding on things. And so I'm thinking about my dad a lot, you know, and just our failed relationship, you know, and just like how bad our relationship failed, you know, and a lot of it comes down to just me, certain things that I was just like such a douchebag about, just such a douchebag, because I wanted to prove a point and my ego got in the way and I was never learning, and I would never accept to learn more about him or why he was the way he is or things, you know. But now, because in my instance, you know, like where I'm at now, I often wonder if it's a little too late to change these things about myself, because I've called him and talked to him, but nothing changes.
Whoa, well, that's a whole nother, that's a whole nother topic, man.
Yeah.
I missed your smile.
Yeah.
I missed your smile.
Yeah.
It's been too long.
What, so we still need to recap.
We got
summer camp.
Summer camp.
We need to recap, some men's group stuff that have been, that we've been, that's been going on. Jiu-jitsu stuff. Jesse, you know, we want to get Jesse on here. We're going to get Nick and Trip on here.
Yep.
They've got Nick Howlett's fight at the super camp was at the summer camp, and the super fights was insane.
It was so good.
When he walked on the mat, you know, like there were some things that, you know, like a couple guys that walked on the mat this time, you know, they were black belts, so they had that aura and that like suck the room out of energy type thing. And then Nick walked on the mat and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
He was dominant.
Yeah.
And then they have a fight coming up September 6th. They're going to Chicago, him and Trip.
I'm so excited for them.
Jeff Curran's promotion. They've been training hard. Insanely hard. Both of those guys are gangsters.
I know. I'm so excited to get on the mat.
You should.
I've done something crazy. I've put it out there, but I did sign up.
You did?
I did sign up to fight in Tap Out Cancer in Salt Lake.
When is that again?
February 28th.
And at that point, how long?
It'll be almost 1 year from my diagnosis.
Wow.
It'll be, I think we're about 7 months now to the time from now until the time of camp. I think I'll have a solid 4 months back on the mat after treatment.
Wow.
Between then and the fight.
I'll be there. And I'll compete.
All right.
Yeah, for sure. I'll compete.
That's my call. That's my call. I haven't put it out in the community yet. One, I haven't wanted to step on Nick. I know they're fundraising right now to get them some sponsorship out there. So if you're interested in sponsoring those two fighters,
for sure.
We'll help make that happen. But yes, I want to build a team. I want to represent Park City Jiu-Jitsu.
Good.
I don't want people to donate to me. If you're into competing and you're going to compete next year, come compete. All you have to do is raise $250 and your fees are free. To compete is free.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And you would be surprised who will donate in the name of cancer. And
very cool.
It's some great charities. So
good.
We'll pitch that as well. And we'll talk more about my training plan for that. But yeah, you're going to be a big part of it.
Sick. Thank you for today.
Thank
you. It was, I I hope it opens up a lot more conversation as far as like learning and staying in that learning state. And then again for men, like today I heard again today about a young man that's going through it, and somebody reached out to me and they were like, do you mind talking to him? Do you mind, you know, just asking some questions because he's going through it, and they're a little bit worried about his mental state. And again, I understand it. Like I get it. It's just, we're just certain things you're not built for, and you don't have the keys to them, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't learn how to at least accept learning for it. Right. Because I'm not me personally, like I'm not like, oh, I've got this figured out. No, I'll tell you my stories. I'll tell you exactly what happened today.
Yeah. Oh, and I think that's the beautiful thing. That's the beautiful thing about where I want to come from. And this is why the medium of a podcast, long form, is better for me than social media.
Sure.
You can take any one of our clips and it'd be a great social media post. I'm sure if I were better at doing it, we'd have, you know, we'd have much higher than 10,000 followers on the Instagram. Right. But the long form allows us to have conversation. While yes, bits and pieces can be taken in context, it's best suited as a whole. And we're not experts.
No.
My hope is that my fucked up story will inspire you.
Same, yeah.
and or them or anyone, right? Depression sucks.
Yep.
Depression sucks. When you don't even feel like getting out of bed, it sucks.
It does.
You know, we had another member of our local Heber community, a local restaurateur take his own life just recently. And that's,
and that, you know, like we said, that's final.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like your people who are around move on from that. That's the last memory. That's all they all they memorize. That's all they have for memory is that whatever happened was too much, and they'll think, could I have done more? Should I have done more? Would I have done more?
Right.
Just to help you through that situation.
Right.
And so, you know, we're here. We have ears.
Yep.
You know, if it's just, do you want me to say anything or do you want me to just listen?
Yeah.
you know, it's cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Glad to see you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're smiling and still got some color to your face.
We'll get more. We'll see. We'll check in next week and see.
Yeah.
When we get back.
Keep going.
We'll keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Cheers.
All right. See you guys.
Peace, everybody.
Rise up, no turning back.